expose them. The words are going to expose what they truly believe, what they truly think in their heart. So they might get away. They've lived for a while, but as soon or later, eventually, their words are going to expose them. What's their true motive? What are they really in it for? Are they in it for the long haul, or are they just in it to look good? Or are they in it to say, I've done this, I've accomplished this, I've did it for a month, I'm here. It's just another check mark that they could put on their book. Is that what they're in it for? If so, this isn't just a first happening. So now let me jump forward to Judges 8, and we're also going to start at verse 1. It says, And the men of Ephraim said unto him, Why hast thou served us thus, that thou callest us not? When thou wentest to fight the Midianites, and they did chide with him sharply. And he said unto them, What have I done now in comparison of you? Is not the gleaning of the grapes of Ephraim better than the vintage of Abiezer? God hath delivered into your hands the princes of Midian, Oreb, and Zeb. And what was I able to do in comparison of you? Then their anger was abated toward him when he had said that. See, Ephraim is the type of person that will come at you. Why did you bring me along for the ride? And then when you why are you getting angry? What's going on? What is happening here? And when they come at you, when you stroke their ego, they are abated from their anger, and they say, "Oh, you're right about that," because their ego is stroked. And that lets you know an Ephraimite mentality, that spiritual mentality that a person has, that when they're in the wrong, but you stroke their ego, that calms their anger down, and it puffs up their ego, and it allows them to say, okay, well, you're right about that. And, let me go on, because I now have to lift you up and magnify you as if you are a God, and to ease and calm you down from your anger, because you got mad at because I planned to move forward and you didn't want to go anywhere. But because I moved forward, you wanted to sit there, and then now you get mad at me because I'm moving forward and you're staying still. Have you ever seen those people in your life before? They love their ego being stroked. They love their ego being, talked to nicely and lifted up and magnified, so as to appease their stuff, as to appease their anger, as to appease their mentality, because out of their anger, they want to hurt you because you went somewhere, because you began to do something. And I want to point out, these are the people of Ephraim. They are still of Israel. They come from the family of the Benjamites. They still are your family. And some people want to say, family, the blood is thicker than water. What's blood? Which blood? Because if it's not the blood of Christ, I don't care what blood you come from. If you aren't speaking the things of Jesus, if you aren't speaking the things of moving forward, you can keep all that to yourself. But these are the people that want you to stroke their ego, to make them seem better than what they are, and to appease them. These are the people that don't want to move nowhere, but they want you to do all the work. They want you, because you didn't include them in your plan. Since when I got a plan for you? Because we're all individuals. We got a plan for ourselves. Let me come to your house and then be like, hey, what did you cook us for dinner? You're going to look at me crazy. You're going to look at me like, what's wrong with you? Because that's not what we do. We plan for our life. We plan for our household. And yes, we then come together as a body and we do things, but we live individual lives. And then even in the body, if we are continually being blessed, if we are continually being lifted up by the Spirit, and you are staying still, you're not even falling backwards. See, most people think backsliding is stop serving God, but backsliding is not moving forward. That's the true meaning of backsliding. So if you are not moving forward, I've been a Christian for 5 years, but you're still in the same state that you were in 5 years ago, you are in a backslidden state. and you have not moved forward 1 inch, you are backslidden. We should constantly be moving forward. We should constantly be reaching forward to the upward call in Christ Jesus. We should constantly be moving forward, and every day should be a process of moving forward. We don't have to make leaps and bounds, but we have to continue to move forward. And for people of the Ephraimite status, they get stuck and then they begin to latch on to people's lives that are doing something with their life and moving forward in a process. And when they see you moving forward, they then begin to say, hey, how come you're not taking me with you? But they don't first start out that way. It's all subtle. It eventually, this was Judges chapter 8 was the first time. And then Judges chapter 12, this was years that went by. And I don't want people to think that it was minutes between each chapter, because if you look, sometimes it was 20 years. The judges served Israel and they had peace for 20 years, 40 years. So this wasn't just overnight. This was years. So we see that the spiritual mentality still held a place in Ephraim, and that mentality would rise its head up, its evil head, its wicked head, and begin to attack their own brothers, their own family. It would begin to attack because they're not moving forward. They don't have any progress in their life. And because they see you moving forward, they then want to get upset at themselves, but they project their anger on you. Who's projecting their anger on you? Don't let them project anger on you no longer. Cut it off. Don't let people that aren't willing to be part of the process moving forward to be a part of your life. Just because you have some sentimental background to them, whether it be your brother or sister or mother or father or cousin or whatever, or a friend that's so close you consider them a brother or sister. Just because you have some type of connection to people doesn't mean that you have to continually stick them to your side when you're moving forward. Because if you move forward, all they're going to do is become a dead weight to your life, and you can no longer process and go forward. You can no longer move an inch forward because you have dead weight holding you back. So you can't tap into your potential because you have a predator hanging onto your leg and sucking off of every time that you move forward and you get a raise. They then become that void, suck up the raise in your life, and then now you're just living normal, like you were living normal, but you're living normal with a raise, because people, what they seem all the time. And now everybody's not that way. Cool. But there's people that it is. So we have to understand that in the Old Testament, we have to understand